was trying to pick a favourite on that one. Did he really criticise Keir Starmer for one of the fundamental foundations of the British legal system, the so-called cab rank system? So, everybody gets a lawyer, regardless of how the lawyer might feel about representing them, and claim one brief today, another brief tomorrow. He did apparently. And this is the same man that wrote 2 columns about Brexit, one saying remain, one saying leave, and literally wrote 2 columns over the same weekend and only decided at the last minute, based, we now know, entirely upon his own self-interest, which one he would send to the Daily Telegraph. And he's trying to accuse Keir Starmer, by dint of being a professional lawyer who operated within the parameters of the professional legal system, of somehow being unreliable or wavering. And I was marvelling at that when I heard him describe America as a bastion of peace. This is America where, within the last week, peaceful protesters have been gassed upon the orders of the president. And, of course, the question was about the qualities of the president that he has previously referred to in the past. And even that absolute festival of waffle and bloviation, even he couldn't come up with an actual quality of Donald Trump's that could be in any way described as admirable. But all of that followed the most remarkable thing I think I've ever heard in the House of Commons, and goodness knows there's been an awful lot of competition lately. The man who has presided over countless avoidable deaths, a man who has more blood, so much blood on his hands that even Pontius Pilate's launderers wouldn't be able to help him, was trying to claim or sort of compliment himself for the government's handling of the coronavirus crisis. We are so far into the upside down now that, frankly, I'm amazed anybody can remember what day it is. That's just 3 bits of it. America's been a bastion of peace. Keir Starmer is unreliable because he was a professional lawyer working within the parameters of the legal system, whereas Boris Johnson, who wrote 2 articles arguing 2 completely different positions and only decided which one to publish when he'd weighed up what was most likely to benefit him, is somehow consistent and reliable. And then the claim, even Emmanuel Macron has apologised. The Swedish government have acknowledged that they got an awful lot wrong, and he's trying to somehow come away with a gold star off teacher. Oh, man alive. That was breathtaking. I'll tell you what, I'm only going to take calls. Theo's here. Give me a ring if you think he played a blinder. 0345 6060 973. Because I think you're fascinating, not just politically, but psychologically. Could that have gone worse for Boris Johnson? And does it matter?
So I think there is an actual method in his madness. I don't think Boris Johnson is being a fool here. But once again, I'm laughing here because Boris Johnson is extremely unpredictable. At times I thought he was playing 4D chess, and then I realized, no, he's just a buffoon. But I do think he understands certain problems and he needs to deal with them. His first problem is Keir Starmer. Now, he's afraid of Starmer. He understands that Starmer is the only one capable of holding him to account. I uploaded a video yesterday and I showed the body language and the comparison, the contrast between Keir Starmer and Boris Johnson. Starmer is calm and collected, but he's not cold. He constantly focuses his gaze and his words at Boris Johnson and the members of the cabinet who are sitting next to him. He appears extremely prepared and extremely professional. Now contrast this with Boris Johnson, who's constantly looking around him, looking behind him for moral support, looking down, or looking unprepared, unprofessional. And in politics, for good or for ill, perception is everything. So why is Boris Johnson describing the United States as a bastion of peace, especially at this moment? I think there are 2 possibilities here. One is a simple distraction, I think, but the other is that he's attempting to reach out to the Brexiteers who, for some strange reason, love Donald Trump. And of course, they buy into the simplistic narrative of America good, everyone else bad. I truly feel that Boris Johnson looks across the water with envy when he sees Donald Trump, a complete and utter buffoon, being extremely successful, being able to convince people, once again, to vote against their own interests. And while he was successful with getting members of the Labour Party to vote against their own interests in getting him into number 10 again. I think he would really like to be a UK version of Donald Trump, someone who can say whatever they want and get away with it, because his support base is so tribalistic, they don't give a crap. I like the expression that James O'Brien used here, we're living in the upside down, and he's right. This is an unprecedented time where you have complete and utter buffoons, and everyone knows that they're buffoons, running countries, running powerful nations. And these buffoons will never, ever say, I was wrong. And you can contrast this with other governments in Europe who have apologized, who have said, yes, we have made mistakes. Boris Johnson's government has never said, we have made mistakes. They have blamed the public. They are going to blame the scientists eventually, but they will never say, we made a mistake. Now, once again, I'm going back to a theory that I have put forward in the past. It could be they will resist apologizing. They will never say they are sorry due to the fear of an eventual public inquiry that would hold them to account. So they're protecting themselves at this moment so that they don't actually face justice eventually when all of this comes out in the wash. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.